But he doesn't say anything, and he gets in the car, and like, this is an expensive running stroller. And we get in the car, and all of a sudden, our daughter, that's her stroller, Hunter looks over and goes, "That looks like our stroller, Mom and Dad." And I look at Greg, and he just looks forward. He doesn't look, he doesn't smile, he doesn't stop. I go, "That's our stroller, hon. We need the stroller. We're going to an amusement park." And he's just like, "Ring!" And he takes off faster. It was like dust came out of our pipe in the back. And then the whole ride, what will we do without a stroller? Where's the stroller? How are we getting a stroller? Is somebody bringing the stroller? What are we doing with the stroller? And I think at some point, Greg goes, "There's no stroller on this trip." Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. Came in love, we're back.
We're back, and
Part
we're continuing.
3, high agency family.
Yes, I think we were both trying to say the same thing as we came. Yeah, you know what? I'm so excited we're talking about this topic because the truth is the strongest families aren't the ones with the fewest problems, hon.
Yeah, they're the families who know how to solve problems together.
That's right.
And so what's our mission, honey?
I mean, our mission is simple. It's to raise good kids, right? It's to raise high agency adults who love God, love people, take ownership, solve problems, and make the world around them better.
So let's talk a little bit about high agency even becoming a culture.
I love it.
In a family, because remember, a person isn't like born with a high agency type personality.
Correct.
It's really important to understand that, because I feel like sometimes when people see a person who seems to be able to bend the world to their will, meaning that no matter what situation you put them in, they somehow figure out a way to make it work for them, right? And we all know people like this, but sometimes you can think that person just has something you don't have.
That's true.
And it's not true. It's something they learned to develop.
Yes.
It's a way of life that they have practiced over and over, that they have developed, that it's like a strength they have built through practice.
Yeah, through over time, in high pressure situations and in situations where it'd be easy to bend. Mm-hmm. And so I think one of the things is, understanding that to have a high agency kind of family, it's a culture that you develop every single day. Mm-hmm. It's not something you just practice once in a while. It's not something you do only when you feel like it. You know, it's something that you develop for everyday needs and desires for your future. Yeah.
And, a big part of that is like, okay, so when something doesn't go right or something breaks, a high agency family, nobody panics. It's just, everybody just starts saying, okay, so this isn't ideal.
Correct.
But what's our next move? Mm-hmm. And I feel like we have to make that kind of decision almost daily in a lot of different ways. But as a family, though, we want to have that as a culture. So, for instance, some situations are like, okay, a vacation doesn't go the way we wanted it to.
Which any parent out there with kids already knows that's happened to you.
Yeah.
And that has happened for us, so many times through the years, Jamie, where it could be anything. The travel experience was horrible. The rental car didn't work out. I remember this one time we were on vacation and Greg got so mad over a stroller we had because it wouldn't fold and go into his minivan that he had rented. And he left it at the rental place and it was officially gone. Like somebody strolled up, but it just wasn't going down.
Anybody that has a number of kids and that if you're going on vacation, that's supposed to, like, you have this idea in your mind, oh my gosh, I'm going to take my kids to this amusement park. Or I'm going to take them to like this Disney thing or something or whatever. And it's just like, this is going to be such family memories. And all you see is the commercials in your head. And then you get there and you're like, wow, this is a lot of work. This is exhausting. You and I are fighting with each other over stuff.
Over nitpicky weird things.
We're so stressed. We're in this weird van we just rented, and all this stuff's going on. And I do remember, like,
Greg, lost it at this
I
point.
mean, first of all, we had already been navigating airports and delays, and finally, and then it's like, you know how when like you're on a plane and it takes longer than you want,
Yes.
and even sometimes the stewardess people are rude, and it just kind of builds and you don't feel great after you get off an airplane anyways, and then you get to your destination finally, and then you have to wait an hour for the lazy people to bring you your car.
Yeah.
While all the kids are asking, can we go? When do we get to go? When do we get to go do whatever? And you're just like, I'm trying, and so it's building, and finally we get the car, and then it's not the right car. And so then we have to wait for another car, and it's a whole nother process. And then finally we get in the car. And at this point, you're just like, leave the luggage by the back. Just kids get in the car.
Right. I typically am like, let's let Dad load the car and let's give him space for a minute. And so then I'm like, everyone in the car. And so we all get in the car. And all of a sudden, we're starting to drive away. And our little kids. So this is when the kids were younger, because if we still had a stroller, you know what I mean?
So a little context. So I had to imagine loading 8 people's luggage in. And so I have to play the Tetris game in the back of the car, get it all working. This has already been a lot. I'm sweating through my shirt. And then the last thing is this big old stroller. And I cannot get this thing to the button to move so it can fold. I cannot get it. I did everything I possibly could. I'm trying to jimmy rig this thing. I'm almost breaking it to try to get it to work. I finally just gave up, and I strolled the thing over by a garbage bin. And I said, we're not having a stroller this
But he doesn't
trip.
say anything. And he gets in the car. And like, this is an expensive running stroller. And we get in the car, and all of a sudden our daughter, that's her stroller, Hunter looks over and goes, that looks like our stroller, Mom and Dad. And I look at Greg, and he just looks forward. He doesn't look. He doesn't smile. He doesn't stop. I go, that's our stroller, hon. We need the stroller. We're going to an amusement park. And he's just like, ring, and he takes off faster. It was like dust came out of our pipe in the back. And then the whole ride, what will we do without a stroller? Where's the stroller? How are we getting a stroller? Is somebody bringing the stroller? What are we doing with the stroller? And I think at some point Greg goes, there's no stroller on this trip.
You just woke up Molly over there.
That's
all right.
High agency issues there.
Good story.
Honey.
I don't know if there's much high agency in any of that. But it was entertaining. I guess, though, what's the next move? Leave the stupid stroller there because it's stressing me out.
Yeah, and then we had to buy another expensive one.
Oh, it could be car breaking down.
Yeah.
Could be lost luggage. Could be financial challenges. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's
totally.
a real thing.
It is. I agree with you.
You lose a big client, you lose a position, a job or something, and what are you going to do?
That stress
it's
level's
like,
high.
okay, what's the next move? How do we all rally? How do we all figure this out? Maybe we have to do some things a little different for a season.
Yep.
That isn't ideal, but everybody's going to have a good attitude about it, and we're going to get through it like we always do. These are the kind of things, sibling conflicts.
Yep.
How do we manage them? How about with all these situations, you just have to learn how to not point fingers.
Yeah.
Right? Wait, what's happening? And who did what? It's like, no, what's our next move? How are we getting there?
I think, like I always tell the kids when something happens, which, I mean, just like everybody, we've had high issues happen and then really low issues happen in our life. And they start throughout the days, right?
Yeah.
And whenever the kids are like, oh my gosh, I'm like, well, what's the worst that's going to happen right now?
Yeah.
The worst that's going to happen is we're going to be okay at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So let's just do our best to fix what we can. And let's calm down, and we'll just, what's the worst? Like, even if you miss your flights, or even if there's a delay, or we don't have a stroller, you know what I mean? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? All right, we're going to move on.
Stroller.
We're going to get some cheapy stroller now that Greg can collapse or throw it, underneath the car again. And it's like, life will have to go on.
Yes.
Life will have to go on.
Yeah.
So that's having a good mindset that let's just figure out what we can do in this situation.
Yeah, so here's some good questions you can ask as a family for your culture. Whenever something does happen, it's good to discuss, okay, so what happened? Right? Well, maybe.
Dad didn't want to discuss anything the rest of the trip about the stroller.
Sometimes you might want to skip that one in the moment.
I literally remember telling the kids, let's just stop asking about the stroller, okay? Like, Dad doesn't want to talk
idea.
about the stroller. I will figure out a new stroller. All will be well.
So we have to ask, what can we learn?
Yeah.
And what's our next move? Another question is like, how do we do this better next time?
Right.
But it's like learning how to evaluate a situation and constantly keep learning from it. I remember we had to do quite a bit with that we still have to do quite a bit about that when it comes to like friendships.
A lot about it.
I feel like there's situations that we have to be pretty open talking to kids about because they don't understand why this situation happened or this person left me out of this or why didn't this person want me to be on their team over here or all these things. It's like, okay, but what are we learning from this? And what's our next move in this? And we have to really navigate it. Otherwise you can sit on this thing again, going kind of victim.
Yes.
Like, what's wrong with me?
Yep.
Why is this stuff happening to me? And then next thing you know, they start, kind of shelling up and isolating. It's like, no, how can we do better? And so, okay. And then what about within our marriage, hon? Like, how do we demonstrate high agency in our marriage?
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of it is, again, not blaming each other stuff for things, I mean, we've gotten so much better through the years for this. Yeah. I feel like we've tried not to point fingers in the direct, but behind the scenes, I think we both do. And in the last, many years that we've really studied more about high agency, how to really be the best version of ourselves as parents and bring our best. It's learning how to not blame, not point fingers, be on the same team, talk about things, not complain about them all.
Don't quit.
Don't quit for sure. Yeah. Both of us lead, not just expecting one or the other to in both situations. And I think, again, it comes down to really understanding that we're both in this together. Yeah. We're doing this together.
Yeah, it's like they have to see us making high agency decisions.
Correct.
And, for us, there's times when stuff that happens is really hard. And sometimes you and I need to vent about it for a little bit. But it's usually like a conversation or two, and we do it. But then it always switches into, okay, I got that off my chest. Now, what are we doing? How are we moving forward?
Yeah.
What is our solutions? And everything becomes about solutions, which is high agency communication. So, it's like children don't learn high agency from motivational speeches. No. They learn it by watching adults refuse to quit.
Yep.
And that's really, really important. So, we're closing up this series, but, we're not trying to raise kids who never fail.
I know. We're raising adults who know how to respond when they do.
Yeah, for sure. It's really good. So I will tell you, here's a couple of just quotes to leave you guys with that I think will really help you out. Every problem you solve for your child is one less opportunity for them to discover what they're capable of. Okay. What's another one, honey?
I think another one is don't ask who caused the problem. Ask what's our next move here.
For sure. High agency is not believing that life is easy. It's believing that you're not powerless.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Another one I think is stop raising children who wait for rescue. Start raising children who build solutions in today's world.
Kids that are trained to build solutions.
Come on.
Right?
World changers.
So good. In a world that is saying, everybody needs to be rescued.
Yeah.
By the way, buy my product and I'll be your rescuer. This is what's happening. And then this last one is that the question isn't whether your child will face adversity. The question is whether they'll believe they can do something about it. Right? So good. But so if this conversation, challenged you, we'd love to help you put it into practice. So comment family, wherever you're watching or listening, send us a direct message if you want to. I mean, you can do it on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the different areas. And we'll send you conversation we've used to intentionally build a family culture that raises resilient, responsible, high agency kids. And if this episode did encourage you, please share it with another parent. We love it when you guys will share this podcast. Yeah. We don't do a lot of marketing efforts, so we kind of rely on our audience to just send this out to a few people. And because the whole goal is that together we can raise a generation of children who don't wait for someone else to change their future. They learn to lead it.
That's good.
That's good. Love you.
Love you.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.